Welcome to Beyond the Chutes is presented by ParaSight Systems. Now, BTC is on the road again. Well, one of us is on the road. I'm actually recording up here in Taylorsville, Kentucky. I don't travel until tomorrow, but my co-host Sam Swearingen. Now, before we go any further, Sam, I got to introduce you properly. Sam Swearingen is a two-time IFR Saddle Bronc Average winner, and you're in Guthrie, Oklahoma now, Sam. How are you doing down there?
Doing great, Doug. The weather's pretty nice today. It was a little chilly, and it looks like it's going to get chilly on the weekend, but it's nice out there today and just having fun.
Very, very cool. And you're already seeing some folks? Folks are showing up already?
Yeah, they got a lot of events going on all week here, and there's people here, and it's I had breakfast with an old friend, Wally Terry. I think it was in '82. He won the bull riding in IPRA.
Okay.
So it was good.
So let's talk a little bit about everything that's going on down there. You talk about it being busy, stuff going on. I know the Queen contest is going on right now. And this is the 54th International Finals Rodeo. And the schedule looks like this. Tomorrow night, Thursday night, the first performance opens up at 7:30. Then there's Friday night performance. And on Friday during the day, Sam, we've got the Old Timers reunion. We're going to be going to that and catching up with some old friends.
And I fit right in now.
You've got the proper card and all that sort of thing.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
I didn't go to it for years when I could have because I didn't want to be old. But, hey, sometimes you have to admit what's going on and enjoy what you have in front of you.
It's where we are, right? It's what we're going to be doing.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And then on Saturday at 1 o'clock, we are going to be, Sam and I are going to be going down to the IPRA Contract Acts Showcase. I'm excited, Sam. We get to watch announcers, listen to announcers. We get to see all kinds of dress acts and barrelmen, performers. I'm excited about it. So we're going to go down there and we're going to be able to report out on that as well. And then Saturday evening, performance number 3 of the International Finals Rodeo is at 7:30, Saturday night, performance number 3. And then the final performance is going to be Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock. And I'm excited about all this. And after each performance, Sam, they've got the Buckle Awards ceremonies.
Yes. The Buckle Awards is not just for the winners of the go rounds, but also the livestock. So it's a nice deal. We'll get 2 for 1 in each event and get to visit with them and see how their day went.
Absolutely. How their day went, how they're feeling, what they draw for tomorrow, all of that stuff. So I'm excited about that. And we're going to have our little Zoom podcast recorder with us, Sam. So we're going to be able to walk around and talk with folks. And I want to get a bunch of short interviews and meet a bunch of these competitors this year. Great sponsors, Sam. When you talk about the International Professional Rodeo Association, Wrangler is with them, Loves is with them. Did you stop on the way down and fuel up at Love's? Those truck stops, they're the best.
I have, yes, many times.
Many times.
Many times.
Absolutely. And we've got Ram pickups, of course, Ram trucks, OG&E. Oklahoma Gas and Electric is a sponsor, and Montana Silversmiths handing out all those buckles 10:30 following each of the rounds. So be great to see all of our competitors there pick up those buckles. Now, before we get too deep into the International Finals Rodeo, Sam, I want to back up just a little bit if we can. Last weekend was the WCRA, the World's Champion Rodeo Alliance, the Stampede at the E that opened up on the 3rd, ran through Saturday the 6th, and I tell you, IPRA Cowboys and Cowgirls had a great showing there. A little bit of trivia for our folks. Derek Garland is a 2020 through 2022 IPRA World Champion bull rider, and in the Lazy E, he placed 3rd this year. He won almost $5,900 there, Sam.
And what an opportunity for these guys. It opens up the whole world to them. And if you win three of these events in a row, you win $1 million.
$1 million.
And it's just wonderful to have these kind of opportunities.
You
Very
bet.
very difficult to do it.
Yep. Yep.
Very difficult,
Yep.
but it's been done once and it will be done more times. It's just a great thing for these IRA contestants and anybody that you don't have to, it doesn't matter. And the world is opening up to beyond the lines of associations and
Mm-hmm.
all that. They're
Mm-hmm.
realizing that
Mm-hmm.
it's just an alphabet soup and it doesn't mean anything, and go do what makes you the most money you can get.
Absolutely. And I like that, the alphabet soup thing. And you're right. It's time to, we're all one big pool of professional rodeo out here, right? I mean, when you're going to hear some of these numbers, and you've seen them, Sam, you see these numbers. When you hear these numbers, this is professional rodeo paying big money out. So just running down through, we had a bareback rider, Sam, at the Lazy E this last weekend. He placed third overall. He took home $3,000. So Quentin Lunsford, we're gonna see him in the bareback riding. He comes in here ranked number 10, and Justin Thigpen. We're going to talk a bunch about Justin Thigpen today. Over the next 4 or 5 days, we're going to talk about him. He is running this year, Sam. He's already sitting at 21 titles, okay, world championship titles. He's got an opportunity because he's here, of course, the all-around puts up an award. He's here in the tie-down calf rope, and he's here in the steer wrestling. So he could move to 24 world championships based on this weekend. But when he was at the Lazy E, he picked up $5,300, Sam, in the tie-down calf roping.
Yeah, this is set up for people like Justin, who is multi-talented. This WCRA, he doesn't travel extensively going to rodeos. I mean, he goes to a lot of rodeos don't get me wrong, but he's a family man and puts on rodeos himself. So he doesn't have the opportunity to travel, but now he's got the opportunity to win $1 million.
Absolutely.
It is just it is built for people like that, and it works. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I love it. I love it. And you're bringing cowboys, cowgirls from all around the United States to these events. We had some big names at the WCRA, of course, coming from the West and that sort of thing. And again, the IPRA Cowboys, Cowgirls did great. As a matter of fact, Chase Crane in the steer wrestling, he placed third at the Lazy E Arena, made $3,500, the Oklahoma City Cowboy. And he also was at the North Carolina WCRA event back in October. He took home $6,000 that weekend, Sam. 2 WCRA weekends bookend, and he's taken home $9,500 just on those 2 rodeos.
And wow, he lives half hour away, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Pretty nice to have it in your backyard.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what the opportunities these guys are having.
Yep.
So,
Yep,
good for him.
That's right. And Julie Plard, the Canadian cowgirl, comes out of Quebec. She won. She placed 5th in the average and made into the Triple Crown of Rodeo, what they call the final round. And she won $4,000 in that, placed 5th. And in North Carolina, she placed 2nd, Sam. Of all the cowgirls that showed up in the Cowgirl Barrel Racing, she took almost $8,500 away.
And Julie, I haven't paid a lot of attention to the barrel race that much lately, but I am now.
Yeah.
And it's a horse race. I mean, it's so competitive out there. If you get that one horse that gets you up to that level where she's at, it's just incredible because you're going against hundreds and hundreds of girls to get to the WCRA.
Absolutely.
And she's showing it there and at the IPRA what good horse she has and how they got the connection together.
Absolutely. No, you and I are going to be paying a lot of attention to the barrel race, and we'll get on that here in just a little bit. The amount of money that's up for grabs we'll talk about in just a bit. But she comes into this finals ranked number 1, and she's made almost $58,000 in regular season earnings so far, Sam.
And that's very difficult from where she lives.
Absolutely.
She's up in Quebec, and ain't nothing close to there except for water and trees.
That's exactly right. She's got a lot of miles.
So good for her.
We're gonna meet her. We're gonna get her on microphone. We're gonna talk with her and find out what her season's been looking like. To your point, I gotta imagine she's putting a bunch of miles and out on the road a bunch. Another cowgirl in the barrel racing did really, really, really well down there. Kendall Scruggs. She comes into the IFR in 4th place. The Mississippi Cowgirl at the Lazy last weekend placed 2nd, Sam. 2nd in that TCR average. She won almost $11,000.
Kendall's been at this a long time, and she's done very well in the IPRA, and she is due for a big win. I mean, like $1 million win. And it looks like she's not on track this time, but I'm sure she'll keep at it. And they know what kind of horse she has and how good that horse is. And
you bet.
She just seems to do it over year after year. Must be a heck of a jockey, because I don't imagine it's the same horse that she's done so well on for all these years.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. No, we're going to be paying attention. As we get into it, we're going to be talking about this is kind of the story of the Julies. There's 3 Julies in the top 3. And then, of course, we got Kendall coming in behind that. So we're going to be talking about that. Now, Heath King in the team roping, he's a header. He partnered up with Stephen Britnell at the Lazy Arena, and they took out $5,350 at that event. And at the WCRA in North Carolina, they were 3rd in the average, Sam, $4,100 there. The North Carolina Cowboy, Heath King, he's coming in here ranked number 1 in the heading. He's bringing $40,000 in regular season winnings with him. So he and we're going to be paying attention to him and Stephen Britnell. And by the way, Stephen is ranked number 1 in the heeling as well. He comes out of Knoxville, Tennessee, not so far from where I am here, Sam. He's earned $46,000 coming in so far.
Well, Heath King, I don't know him.
Yeah.
But if you look at the town he's from, it's Leicester, North Carolina.
There you go.
And spelled exactly the way my hometown of Leicester, New York is spelled.
Yeah.
Which is kind of unique.
Yeah.
But must be a heck of a hand. I know Stephen very well. And he's not going to rope with somebody that's not outstanding. And Stephen, he's been around a long time doing this. But he is a horseman. Yeah. He rides good horses. He knows how to handle horses and what to do. And he is a true professional horseman. And I think that helps his roping as well.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. Yeah. And then coming in on the heading side, we had Jake Wells. Now, he partnered up with Briar Hamilton at Lazy Arena. They placed 7th in the average, $4,700. In South Carolina, he roped again with Briar, and they won $5,400, so $10,000 for this Alabama Cowboy over those 2 rodeos, Sam. Comes in here ranked number 3. He's got about $26,000 in winnings. We're going to talk about the big money when we get to that, the big money that's available at the IFR, and we're going to see some of these while there's looks like some decent spreads between, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. We're going to see how quickly that money can eat up those spreads.
And that's the thing, if the guys at the top do their job, they'll be okay. But you get somebody that gets on a roll and starts plugging away at them, they can close that gap in a hurry. And you never know who's going to be the champ at the end of the day. Absolutely.
And we've already talked about Brian Hamilton on the heeling side. He partnered up with Jake Wells. So the last one here is Casey Hicks. and he roped at the Lazy E there and placed fifth. It looks like with about $1,500. And when they were at the North Carolina, they ran a 6.99 in the first round, placed him first there. This cowboy comes in ranked number 10th. He's got about 17,000 on the year, but the $1,500. So let me back up just a little bit. The Lazy E Arena event is actually in this next year's standings, so it didn't have any effect. Now North Carolina did, but this one has no effect on the world standings as we're looking at them right now, Sam. But some of these guys are getting a heck of a boost to their season. And think about that. This money, that kind of money coming in this time of the year, that helps ease some of the traveling dollar crunch that you're headed towards as they get busier in the spring and head into the summer.
Yeah, and the travel and expenses in the winter is just more costly. Everything is more money and it's more headaches and a lot more work. So these guys that are taking advantage of these WCRAs and getting a jump on them, we're going to have to find out how much of this money counts towards points, what percentage.
Yep.
But anybody that wants to run at a title should be going to these all the time.
You bet. And then finally, Cody Dowsher, WCRA Lazy E, comes in first in his event, $15,350, Sam.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? 15,000, it's not life-changing money, but it's sure very nice chunk to get in January when there's not a lot of things going on.
Yep. And again, building those bridges, we talked about knocking down the alphabet soup on the associations, putting them all under one great big arena umbrella, I should say, called the World Championship Rodeo Alliance. What a great way to bring it all together, as you've already said. What a neat way to bring it together. It reminds me, especially these winter rodeos like this, reminds me of the old days with the Longhorn rodeos and the World's Toughest Rodeos, the big building rodeos, the big indoor arena rodeos that took place January, February, and March.
Yeah, the difference, they didn't have them every weekend. The WCRA doesn't go every weekend like they did, but the money is there even better because the carrot at the end is $1 million. So it allows them to, if they do well at these, to get a jump on the other contestants, and it also allows them to have something to ride and look forward to dream about.
You bet.
That's what it's all about. You want to win. Everybody wants to win. And not everybody can win, but Lord knows you want to. And when you do, and it's just wonderful.
Isn't it wonderful? Absolutely. So this weekend, we're coming back to the IFR now. We're going to talk about round money, average money. You and I have talked about this in the past. Money has darn near doubled, Sam. Total cash payout in these next 4 rounds is $500,000. 500,000 will be handed out. Now, as we look at the money, the average is going to pay 18,000. Let me back up. The average is going to pay $7,400 to win. Each go round is $3,700 to win. So if you come in and do a Sam Swearingen, win all four rounds, win out, if you will. So 4 rounds plus the average, you're going to walk out with $22,222.21.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Oh, bless you.
Excuse me. I must have been thinking about getting that money and caught a breeze. But 22,200. Why didn't they make it $222.21.
I,
When to make it 22 cents?
I,
It'd be like hitting the lottery.
well, just so you know, Dana tells me when she rounds to the nearest dollar. So you're not going to get your 21 cents from Dana,
Okay.
our rodeo secretary, right? But,
So
as we've seen, not impossible to buck off all the bull riders in a round except maybe one. We've seen that. And then when you got the ground money, if you're the only one that rides a bull, Sam, on an evening, that is going to pay you, including ground money, almost $9,300 for that single day.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And it's not out of the realm for somebody to win this 22,000.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
It's gotta be your turn every day.
Yep.
But it is very possible. Very possible.
You bet.
And hopefully by the fourth performance with our pre-show, we're talking about somebody doing that.
You bet. You bet. And when we talk about high money, the IPRA keeps track of all the high money winners over the years. And just for a little bit of trivia, do you know who holds the all-around year-end winnings, total earnings? And by the way, it's $111,587. Do you know who owns that, or who holds that record?
I do now because you put it in front of me, but I guessed wrong the other day when you asked me.
Yeah.
So good for him. I seen Cord a couple days ago at the sale. Asked him about the horses I sold him, and we chatted a little bit. So I wouldn't have guessed it, Cord. I did guess. I thought it might be Jet or Dan Daly, but
his brother. Yeah.
Cord looks like he was quite a bit, like 30,000 ahead of everybody.
Oh,
so
man.
Good for him.
Big winnings. Big winnings. And I think this is a year, of course, with the amount of money that's on the line, I think a lot of these records fall. For example, in the bull riding, Cord McCoy was holding that from 2002. The record's about 53,000. Hudson Bolton comes in here, the young man out of Tennessee, young man. He comes in with regular season earnings, Sam, of 50,000. He's only $3,000 away. And we said, okay, if he were to win out that maximum 22,000, he's gonna make about 72,000 on the year. About 40% more than Cord made back in 2002. Ronnie Field holds a record in steer wrestling. Justin Thigpen has the possibility to go way up over the top of that. He could come in at about 49,000 if he wins out on that 22. Justin and in the tie down calf roping, same thing. Justin leads the way with 35 coming in. The IFR Max, he could walk away with about almost $58,000, which would be about 50% more earnings than the record. But we got to go to the Cowgirl Barrel Racing, Sam. The record is $57,000. Julie Plard, that we talked about, to Quebec Cowgirl, comes in already with $58,000. If she wins through, $80,000. And according to my calculation, other than potentially Justin Thigpen on the all-around, she could be one of our... I got to put her at least in... She will be in the number 2 position if she wins out, Sam, on the total earnings for the year of all the contestants.
Isn't that great? I mean, a girl from up there doing these kind of things, be able to come in and win that kind of money and be right there. Maybe she'll pick up a rope and win the all-around. I'd love to see that happen.
Wouldn't that be fun? That would be great fun.
A woman win the all-around. That'd be so exciting.
You bet.
So exciting.
Bet. And speaking of picking up a rope, Cowgirl Breakaway, Kyla Matthews, who set the record last year at 26,000. She comes in, Sam, with almost 31,000 already, with the IFR still to go, and with that 22,000, that put her almost 53,000 on the year. She would more than double her record from last year. So I love these contestants and the amount of money that's on the line. Final event is going to be our team roping. Stephen Britnell and Heath King both come in leading their standings. and the amount of money, they're going to be mid 60s if they win out here, Sam. So a ton of money. And I'm rooting for Julie Plard. I'm so excited about the barrel racing. I put a post up on Facebook and I said, I'm going to admit it. Barrel racing is my favorite event in rodeo. So if that gets me some hate mail, Sam, that's where we go.
Oh, well, you got to have something your favorite. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But Doug,
Yeah.
I would like to talk about the bull riding for just a quick bit.
Yeah.
Shows Cord McCoy here with 52,000 in 2002. That was what he'd won.
Yep.
And second is Clinton Cessna with 45,000.
With 45,000.
1996.
Okay.
Well, that was a long time ago, and Clinton was quite the amazing bull rider.
Mm-hmm.
Just incredible. But that year, I believe it was that year, he was really sore, and he said, "I'm not getting on my bull tonight." And I looked at him, like, wow. And Clinton never said that. You know, that was never in the mind.
Okay.
So I knew he had to really be hurting. I said, don't turn out yet.
Yeah.
I said, just let's go down there and, put your rope on or see how you feel. And we kind of talked about it and went down, and he knew the bull he had was really just right for him. And he got to putting his rope on, and the adrenaline started flowing, and he did it. Yeah, he ended up getting on, rode the bull, and I think he was the only one to ride that night.
Oh my gosh!
So,
oh my gosh!
It just goes to show you that don't give up on your dream. And it worked out.
You bet. You bet.
And he did everything so perfect when he rode. He did everything right, and he rode through the pain, and I think he won. That was the year he won the world.
Okay.
Good for him.
Yep.
Good for him.
Yep. And those are the stories, Sam. I love that story. And I know he comes out of Pennsylvania. He was a traveling partner of yours for a while. Those are the kind of stories we want to capture when we're down in Guthrie, and we're both there. And some of those stories that are happening right now. And, I just said $9,300 to your example, $9,300 if you're the only bull rider to ride. And you go, okay, that's not bad, $9,300. Well, what's the odds it's 2 rounds, right? Based on the pen. Mm-hmm. What's if it's 3? I mean, you realize all in, all done, you're almost $40,000 just in ground money.
In the bulls these days, everybody's got good bulls. They're just they're breeding for them, and it's not like it used to be where you went somewhere and there was just decent bulls and some good ones. But now everybody's got good bulls, and it's going to be good to watch.
You bet.
I hope they ride half of them every night, but we both know that's not going to happen.
That's going to be tough with the caliber of the bulls. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it comes down to our senior pro rodeo judges, our pro rodeo officials. And we got 4 of the best, Sam. And you can talk about any of these guys. Stephen Ratsford, he's done this for years. He's been a pro rodeo official for the last probably 10 years, 12 years. Sean Coleman, I show that this is his first year of judging the event. Rick Chafin, another cowboy's been around, pro rodeo official. Clint Corey, right? What was it, 1982 IPRA world champion Clint Corey is back for the second year. He's going to be a pro rodeo official.
Yeah, all these guys, Rick Chafin, and of course Clint, they're just doing it because they've been there, done it, enjoy it, and still want to live the lifestyle and make sure that the money gets to the right people. Just good competitors. Clint, there's not a better man, not just a cowboy, but a better man that put on a pair of boots than Clint Corey. I got so much respect for him.
Yeah. Yeah, and hopefully we get a chance to talk with him. I think he's the number one on my list to get an interview from, Sam.
Well, good. I
And
look forward to that.
And we got Dennis Morse too. Don't let me. Yeah, we got lots of names, don't we? We got lots of names.
Yeah.
Back judges going to be Christian Bastian and Joe Crawford, and our rodeo secretary. This is the 19th year, Sam. Miss Dan again. Of course, she's connected to us. When she broke out in 2010, and of course we got an episode that we learned all this from her. When she broke out in 2010, she came to work for you full time. She went on the road, I should say, full time as a pro rodeo secretary, and you gave her your whole northern run.
Yeah. When I met Dana, it was a few years ago, quite a few, and I was kind of the secretary I had didn't want to do all of them, and it was tough. I like not having to worry about things when I'm in a rodeo. I got enough things that are going to pop up. I don't want to worry about finding another secretary. It made perfect sense, and I'm so glad I did it. She does such an outstanding job. You don't have to double check her. She actually double checks me. So
Yep.
Yep. It was a wise decision.
Yep. And when you talk about breaking down the alphabet soup, I mean, if you ask her what she is, she's a pro rodeo secretary. Now, that could be the International Professional Rodeo Association. It could be the Professional Rodeo Cowboy Association. It could be the American Professional Rodeo Association. It could be the Arkansas Rodeo Association. She doesn't care. She's a pro rodeo secretary, and she's one of these folks that helps us bridge all these associations together, Sam.
Yes. And, why not?
Yep.
Go where you can make the money.
Yep.
Go where you get paid.
Yep.
And now she's a part of the WCRA and working in that aspect there. So, it's about making a living to her.
Oh, absolutely.
And if you got to make a living, and any way you can do it, that's great.
That's great. Absolutely. And to your WCRA connection, you're exactly right. And she was in Cowtown last fall when they handed out the $1 million check to R.C. Landingham in the bareback bronc riding because he won 3 of these Triple Crown events in a row. They wrote him a check, gave him a check for $1 million, Sam. She was there. She was the rodeo secretary putting it together.
Yes. And what a... that just goes to show you, people, get on this WCRA bandwagon.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Don't back up. Go forward.
That's right. And then announcers up on the announcer stand. We've got Mark Northall. This will be his 7th year announcing the IFR, and brand new to the announcers platform is going to be Dylan Gross. So we're looking forward to hearing them in the Lazy Arena. That's going to be great fun. And Sam, I want to slow down when we get to timers because, like the rodeo secretaries, as I've learned, I mean, this is another group of people that the rodeo simply does not work without. And the better your timers, the better it runs. And we've got 2 of the very best. Sherry Sumner is here and Jennifer Reynolds.
Sherry's done this rodeo for years, and she's worked some for me on and off through the summer when she was there. Does an outstanding job. You don't have to worry about it. Just everything's good. Jennifer Reynolds, I don't know. I don't know where she come from, but if she's here, she's got to be very accomplished at her job.
You bet. No. And we're excited for her. I love all these folks that are coming in maybe for their first time. This is the big stage. So it's very cool for everybody to be here. Pick up men. And I'm going to let you talk about this first gentleman just a little bit. Trace Houston, McBain, Michigan, the Houston Rodeo family.
Yes. Trace, I've known him quite a while, probably since he was about 14. He came to one of my rodeos. His dad was picking up, I think. Anyway, we're going to Nova Scotia after that, or Newfoundland or somewhere up there. I was taking stock, and we were up in Massachusetts, and Trace was just a 14-year-old kid, and I Yeah, I think he did enter it, and he had one of my pretty good horses, 40, and his name was Badlands Molly.
Hmm.
And by gosh, if the kid didn't ride him,
Wow.
and I
Wow.
stand there and say, "Wow,
Yeah.
this kid's got some talent."
Yeah.
And I had heard about him that he was doing well, but I got to see it firsthand at a young age.
You bet. And he had qualified, right, for the IFR in the past?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, he's partnered up. There's 3 pickup men all in. So Trace and then Logan Moore and McKinley Belvin will be picking up with him. Then the barrel man this year is Mike Wentworth, and I believe this is his first time in the barrel in the IFR, Sam.
Yes, and I haven't seen Mike in a long time, and his relation goes back to Dick Corey. I think he's married to his granddaughter, and they say he does an outstanding job, and we'll be able to talk about that as the week goes on.
Okay. Okay. Excellent. And just from a trivia standpoint, Sam, bullfighters, we're going to go there now. Who was at IFR 51? And I think that's 1953, something like that. Who was, can you name one of the bullfighters from that first year? Anyone stand
I'm
out?
just going to say Liesl Harris.
Liesl Harris, absolutely the great, and
Okay.
not a lot of
Go
folks
ahead.
know that, Sam, that he was actually a bullfighter before he became a barrel man. And as Hollywood told us during his interview, if you wanted to be a funny man, you had to be a bullfighter. You know, it was almost like, I need a bullfighter, and if you can tell jokes, wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what, you know, us contractors get very inventive so that if we can save money and hire one person instead of
Right.
two.
Right.
But that was the criteria.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
you were a bullfighter and you took the barrel out there and you needed to tell jokes and you'd yell a joke up to the announcer and then he'd repeat it over the microphone because it was no cordless mics or anything.
You weren't mic'd up for sure.
For the barrel man.
Yep.
So it everything evolves, and most of it for the better.
Yeah. And these bullfighters have evolved. I mean, these guys have gotten so good. We got 3 of the best. Miles Essick is here. Mark Weber, several times bullfighter here. Miles has fought here a number of times. And Jeremy Cohen is our 3rd bullfighter. So we're looking for these guys. We talk about the caliber of the bulls and the challenges that these bullfighters are going to have. So we want to give them a lot of encouragement and everything as they get ready to ride or get ready to work in the arena, Sam.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They are so important, and much more to me now than that I got a son riding. But
You bet.
they're the lifesavers of just like the pickup men with the horse riders.
You bet.
And when you get at this level, you know you don't have to worry because they're good.
You bet. You bet. And then rough stock gateman, we got Wade Hazlett. Of course, he comes out. He's worked with you a bunch, Sam. He comes out of North Washington, Pennsylvania to give a hand, and Joel Chafin will be partnering with him. The timed event gateman's going to be Daniel Harrell. Production manager, so the guy that makes it all works, Garrison Panzer. And then photographer is going to be 870 Sports Photography. And I do believe our spectators, anybody listening that's going to be there, or check them out online, there's going to be some great shots that'll be taken at this IFR. So 870 Sports Photography, we'll try to get their link up so that you can check out what they're shooting. Music director, Mark Evans, and the arena director is Kelly New.
So is Kelly new now? Is this his first time or?
I don't know, but Kelly New is his last name. N-E-W. It's exactly what it says. Exactly what it says.
You know, and I want to just talk about Wade Hayes a little bit, just for a quick minute. He fought bulls for me for years, and of course, being frugal, I had him open and shoot gates at the same time. So knows what he's doing. Just a good bunch of personnel, and I'm sure it'll be a wonderful event.
You bet. You bet. No, going to be great to see him and Renee and hang out with them while they're there. Going to be a lot of fun. So let's shift to the point standing, Sam. We're going to start off with all around the all around world standings, and of course Justin Thigpen, the Wake Horse Georgia Cowboy. You realize he's 41 years old this year, Sam. 6'4". He's a big boy, and he is qualified in both the steer wrestling and the tie-down calf roping. Not only is he qualified in both those, he's leading in both of those events as he comes in. And as I said earlier, he's already standing with 21 world championships all in. So between the all-around and all the world championships, he could move from 21 to 24. And for what it's worth, Sean Miner is sitting at 23. We're going to see him at the finals. He's going to be there with his son Cole, going to be working in the Contract Act Showcase. We're going to check that out. And then, of course, the great Dan Daly sitting with 29 world championships all in. But Sam, Justin Thigpen, what can you say? He used to come up. We see him a lot up through the Northeast.
Yeah. Justin's just a athletic specimen. You know, there's no other way to put it. And he steer wrestles and he's good at it. You know, he's winning, but his heart is in the calf roping.
Okay.
He really cares about the calf roping, and you can tell when you have a calf in there that he doesn't like, he lets you know about it. And he just loves the calf roping.
Okay. And in second place in the all-around points championship, about $15,000 behind Justin is Zeb Chapman. But he's also qualified in two events. He's in the tie-down calf roping. He's in the team roping. He's a header. So, Sam, if he wins out, there's 44 grand all in there, and that'll be, I think 15 is, it's far from safe. Does that make sense? When both Cowboys are competing in two events.
Yes. Yep. If they get on a roll, look out. You know, I don't think anybody's going to win 44,000, but if they get on a roll and can pluck out 15,000 from each event, that's quite a big boost.
Quite a big boost, absolutely. And then looking down through here, one fella stands out. We're going to talk about him a little bit later. Eli Hirschberger out of Wooster, Ohio. He's part of the Rawhide Rodeo team. He's an all-around champion. He's got $19,000 won in, and I believe at saddle bronc riding for sure. And we're going to see him at the finals this year. But I think he made the rest of his money in steer wrestling, didn't he, Sam?
He did.
Yeah.
And I got to laugh because steer wrestling, Eli's only, 5'8" and 180 pounds, maybe.
Yeah.
160 pounds.
Yeah.
But he never even did it at the ranch, He never did shoot dog. And then I'm sure boys played around at it because they always do.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was when he told me he was steer wrestling. I said, "What the heck you going to do that?" And yeah, he did everything else. Rode bareback, rode bulls, did everything at the farm. But now he's steer wrestling, so good for him.
You bet. So moving on to the bareback bronc riding, we've got Tanner Phipps coming in the lead. He's won about $31,000, and second place Joshua Krager, four-time world champion, is only $720 behind him, Sam. But Tanner Phipps, he is your reigning world champion. He picked up the title last year. So 32 years of age, up against Josh Krager, the veteran. Josh is, as I said, 4 world championship. His last one he won in 2020. 7 IFR average championships, and the Columbia, Tennessee Cowboy. We're going to see how he rolls in here, Sam.
Yeah. Tanner's big, strong, really spurs those horses hard, does a great job. Josh's style's a little different. He sets up a little better and lifts them horses, and that could be why he's won so many averages at the finals. It's just more consistent.
Yeah.
Way of doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then another Cowboy I want to talk about is Blaine Houston. We've seen him at the WCRA. He had a great event in North Carolina. And of course, you got to talk about a cow camp rodeo up there in McBain, Michigan. Sam, you've been up there several times. Talk a little bit about that rodeo. That's pretty darn cool.
Yeah, it's always on Labor Day weekend, and it runs through there. They had to add another performance this year, so they had too many people.
Oh, wow.
Watching it to have seats for.
Really?
So,
they had that kind of spectator draw. Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
You bet.
Well, what a good problem.
Oh, isn't that
what
a great
good problem.
You bet.
And it's just a good family, and the rodeo's amazing. When I was going, there was one in Sparta, Michigan, about maybe 2 hours away, that was in the afternoon. You could go to
nice.
McBain at night.
Yeah.
And so I never really, we were always on the road. I never hung out there too much, but they say it's a great time, and I know they put on a great rodeo.
You bet. And it's a beautiful place. I mean, it's got camping, it's got trail riding. And do you realize Blaine's great grandparents, Bill and Bonnie, started this rodeo, I don't know how many years ago, and just a huge rodeo family.
Now, Bonnie, she was a rodeo queen back in the day, just a beautiful lady.
Yep.
Always just so nice to be around, friendly, come and talk to everybody. And it is something to start one and have it going this long with the whole family. This might be the vision she had in mind for all the boys that are named different cities across the country.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
It's kind of neat how they did their kids, but
yeah.
It might be the vision, because the family has stayed together up there and done so much with it.
You bet. And IPRA family members that are still active, that hold their cards and all that, Trace Houston, Star, Ty, Miles, and Haley Houston, all part of that IPRA family, if you will. But Houston's Cow Camp, McBain, Michigan, Labor Day, exactly right, Sam. So back to the IFR. In IFR 5, Jimmy Cleveland set the arena record with 90 points. This last couple years, we've seen stuff, 84, 85. What are you predicting here that you're going to see for scores in the bareback bronc riding?
I would say between 80 and 85.
Okay.
I think that's probably a fair guesstimate.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Excellent. And then let's shift to the bull riding. And in the lead coming in is this young man out of Milan, Tennessee, or Milan, however you say it, Sam. This young man comes out of high school rodeo. He's a rookie by the name of Hudson Bolton, high school rodeo cowboy. He's won already over $50,000.
Wow. That's good for a high school kid,
Man.
He must be talented.
Absolutely.
I haven't seen him ride, but he must really be talented to do something like that.
Yep. Well, we're going to be paying attention here. In the arena record, Bobby Gillis, Dennis Morris, who we're hoping to talk to, Tyson Hughes, were all 90 points. That's the arena record. Last year, we saw an 86 3/4 points. Declan Garland, 2022 bull riding champion. What are you thinking you're going to see in the bull riding this year as far as top scores?
I would say mid 80s to higher 80s for top scores.
Okay.
That 90 is just a special mark to get to.
Yeah.
It's just very difficult. All the ducks got to be in a row. But would I put it out of the question? Not at all. But that's a tough.
Okay. And Nicholas Bryan is here. He comes out of Quebec, and he's in second place, Sam. And just give a little bit of basis to the amount of earnings this young man, Hudson Bolton, has won. He is approximately $31,000 behind coming into this finals.
Well, I guess Hudson's got it wrapped up, unless there's
I
a big mistake on everybody's part. But
Well,
yeah,
I guess somebody could close in if you had got that 40 grand in ground money and then 14 grand in average. I suppose it could happen, right?
yeah. On paper, it could happen. Will it? Probably not. But yeah, on paper, it happened. But yeah, Hudson being a rookie and winning that kind of money, that boy might have a whale of a future ahead
You
of
bet.
him.
You bet. I've got to imagine a PBR. I've got to imagine everybody's looking at this young man.
Yes, and I'm gonna scout him out for the Carolina Cowboys this weekend.
Okay. Are you
And
really?
check.
Okay.
Well, why not?
Why not? We're there.
Why
Why
not?
not? Right?
You look at all the people that came through the IPRA that
Yep.
were amazing bull riders.
Yep.
Uh, so why not?
Yeah,
Why
absolutely.
not?
Get her eyes open. And in the saddle bronc riding, we're going to shift to that now. The arena record was set at IFR 20. Justin Rowe did it with 90 points. You were there, Sam. You saw that rodeo, and you hold the second highest score at 89 points at 3 years prior to that. And we've heard you describe that ride, I believe, where you got off and you thought it was just terrible. You thought you didn't ride well, and then they announced 89. Do I have my story right?
You do. Yep. And I just, it was one of them rides where I scratched the whole time and felt bucked off every jump. And I do have a picture at home that my hat is about 10 feet in front of the horse. So that means that horse sucked back and went sideways. Uh, so, yeah, in watching it on video, it was a good ride.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
then Justin was 90 and I should have broke the judges' pencils.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I had it for a couple of years, so it's
Do,
good.
do you remember Justin's ride?
Yeah, yeah. It was completely opposite of mine.
Okay.
My horse was extremely rank, hard to get there on. Did everything he could to buck you off. And Justin's was jumped and hung, and he did spur this horse outstanding, and the horse was great. You know,
Yeah.
that horse is just wonderful to ride. I never was able to get on him, but it was an outstanding ride, just outstanding.
Okay. Well, we're looking for that tonight or this weekend as well. As we look at the top five, Sam, you realize from first to fifth, they're only separated by about $9,500 total. And as a matter of fact, second place is only $300 behind. So Joe Farron comes in, Cottondale, Florida. He won the average last year, IFR 53, comes in with about 33,000, and Cody Gortson is approximately $300 behind him coming in. And then Rudy Troyer out of Scottsville, Kentucky. We got to talk to the Kentucky Cowboy while we're there. Cody Reinhardt is there. So we got a bunch of bronc riders that can get it done. It's going to be good watching again, Sam.
Yeah. I don't mean to not say anything, but yeah, I think it's going to be very good watching, and watch that Rudy Troyer.
Okay. Okay.
Really, really keep your eye on him.
Okay.
I think he'll give him a run for the money. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Okay. And Cody Reinhardt is your reigning world champion, Sam. And even though he's coming in a little bit deeper in the field, fourth place with about $30,000 won, he's won 3 world championships in a row. So we're going to keep an eye on him as well.
Yeah, and all 4 of those guys are so good.
Okay.
So don't count them out.
Yep.
But I don't know. I just got a feeling Rudy is going to really give him a run for it.
That's fun.
Be nice to have a Kentucky champ.
Absolutely. Bluegrass State, here we come. Absolutely. And I don't know the answer to this. I got to imagine they're brothers because number 5 is Eli Troyer, both from Scottsville, Kentucky.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're brothers, and they had another one brother that worked for me some.
Oh, okay.
And was very athletic. The story with them is that family was Amish,
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
and
okay.
the whole family left at the same time.
Oh, wow.
The mother and the father and everybody left the community. So,
Really? Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
Timothy Troyer was the one that worked for me, and he's 12th, and that boy is so athletic and a lot of talent, and I wouldn't count him out to win the average.
Yeah, he's sitting in fourth place or 12th place, I should say.
12th
Weatherford,
place. Yeah.
Weatherford, Oklahoma. And then speaking of fellow worked for you for a number of years, Eli Hirschberger comes in number 7. We got to talk with him, but what have you heard? How's he feeling after that terrible wreck at the Mid-States Rodeo Finals?
He says he's good. Uh, I don't know. He's a lot like Dalen, he's not going to admit to anything. We've had some good conversations on his way out here, and I'm not pulling for anybody more harder than Eli.
Okay.
He tries so hard, and it's just when it's his turn, they're going to all know it. And just a good kid, rides good and hard. So looking forward to him having a great weekend.
You bet. You bet. Cheering on these guys. I love all the connections, Sam, to the Rawhide Rodeo Company. So, and Raymond Hotstetler, he qualified as well, but he is opting out to go to the PRCA Circuit Finals, First Frontier Circuit Finals in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania this same weekend. So we're going to wish him luck as well.
Yeah, Raymond, he's supposed to call me and let me know how he does. And he just rides so good. If he doesn't get his head doesn't get in the way of his riding, he just outrides everybody there. And I just think he'll tear him up at the circuit finals. It's only 3 hours from his house compared to coming out here 25 hours. So, and he's a good family man. His family's going to go there, and I'm just so proud of that guy. So proud of him.
You bet. You bet. And then moving on to the tie down roping, the record, Ken Bailey and Sean Coleman, who is one of our pro rodeo officials, hold the arena record, Sam, at 7.4 seconds. We saw last year, we saw a 7.9 be fast. 2 years ago, we saw a 7.7. Justin Thigpen, he holds 10 championships in the tie-down calf roping. Most recently in 2021, he's won 2 IFR final averages. Is this year, as he comes in here, he is about $12,000 ahead of Zach Cargile. Zeb Chapman's in 3rd, Jared Noren is in 4th, and Andrew Bucks is in 5th. Can Justin hold on? Have you heard anything? We know he comes out of the WCRA last weekend smoking. I got to imagine he comes in ready to run.
It's going to be Justin's to lose, and he doesn't make mistakes that often. So if I was at the tables, I'd put money on Justin.
Okay.
That this is his favorite event. I'm very surprised he's only won 2 averages though. That kind of surprises me. But when you got that kind of lead and you're as talented as he is, it's going to be hard to beat him.
You bet. You bet. And Zeb Chapman, Lafayette, Georgia cowboy, comes in 3rd. He's the guy running after Justin in the all-around points championship as well.
Yeah, I've known Zeb quite a while, and he's really talented, and the all-around would be the thing that he could catch Justin at more so than the calf roping, I think. So.
Okay.
Good luck to him.
Good luck to him, absolutely. And let's go to the big man event. Of course, we're talking about steer wrestling. Lots of records here. 3-second run by Ronnie Williams at IFR 32, Sam. That's blazing. We saw a 4-1 2 years ago. We saw a 4 flat last year. Justin Thigpen, the 6'4" cowboy coming in out of Waycross, Georgia, has about a $7,000 lead over second place. Can he run at that? What do you think you'll see from Justin this week, time-wise?
I don't think that any of them can run at the arena record. I'm pretty sure that was a lot shorter score than what they'll
Okay.
have here.
Okay. Okay.
But whew, this is kind of a loaded field when I'm looking down through here.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, this will be very interesting, and a $7,000 lead, that's 2 go rounds. So we'll see what happens. This is, don't count out Matt Fisher. He's very solid when
Okay.
things go his way.
Okay, comes out of Ontario. We got an Ontario Cowboy in fifth. In fourth. Quebec Cowboy coming in fifth place. And back to Justin in this particular event, he has won 7 steer wrestling titles. Most recently in 2022, he is your reigning steer wrestling champion. He's won IFR 34 and 40 as far as averages. So let's see how he does. This is fun. And to your point, about 7,000 separates first from fifth. So good watching here. Big money on the line. And I just got to ask, with the big money, Sam, $22,000 possible if you win out. How's that affect your riding? How's that affect your mindset coming into a big event like this?
It shouldn't affect it at all. It should not. If you're thinking about that, you're not doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think about that one steer you got, and each step at a time.
Yeah.
The one horse you got to ride. And even, some of these events when I was riding, would draw 2 go-rounds. And I would never even look at the horse I had next before I got through with the one I have now.
Okay.
So,
okay.
You gotta put it in perspective, and it's just one steer, one horse, one bull, and then you have another one after that.
Okay.
And it'll all work out.
Yep, for sure. Shifting to the Cowgirl Barrel Racing. As I said earlier, this is the year of the Julies. Julie Plard, Julie Thomas, Julie Goodrich, of course, the Goodrich family. And then in fifth place is this cowgirl, this rookie cowgirl out of Indiana. She comes in fifth place, Sam, and she's got some momentum as she's been rolling. But Kendall Scruggs had a great WCRA. The Mississippi Cowgirl had a great WCRA rodeo a week ago. But Julie Plard, I mean, she is $20,000 over second place. And the ground is always good, right? And the lazy. And what's neat is for these rodeo cowgirls that have been there, were there last week, they should know the ground. They should know the pattern. It should be pretty consistent, shouldn't it?
I would imagine it's probably the same setup as it was last week.
Mm-hmm.
So these girls that were here will definitely have a edge up on them.
Mm-hmm.
How far it takes them, I don't know.
Yep.
But the Triple Crown of Julie's.
Mm-hmm. Right. You like that?
I was kind of floored when I seen it there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I thought, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
All spelled the same. And Julie Thomas has an outstanding horse. I don't know Julie Goodrich's horse. I do know Julie and her husband was an outstanding calf roper, and they work a lot with kids. We actually went over and seen them when we were thinking about purchasing a place in Tennessee, which we eventually went to Georgia, but just good competitors. So I know Julie Goodrich will be mounted.
You bet.
Kendall Scruggs is going to be the one to watch out for. If she did that well in the WCRA, that means her horse is good in this arena. You bet.
And here's a little bit of information on Julie Goodrich's horse. She's got 2 of them, actually, that she's running. She's got Credit to Heaven, 10-year-old bay, and Dash to Heaven is the mare that she'll be running there as well. And then as we talk about Kendall Scruggs, of course, coming off that great $10,000 win a week ago. To your point, the Mississippi Cowgirl, we're going to be paying attention and see how she does. But there's some great stories coming up. You look at Emily Stiles. She's riding a horse owned by Randy Mauger. Great story behind that, and I'll just read what they shared. She says her main horse Sophie is very special to many people. She was bred and raised by her aunt and uncle, then sold to Brenda Mauger as a 5-year-old. Brenda tragically passed away due to cancer in 2021, and her husband Randy didn't want to let Sophie the horse go, so this young lady, Emily Stiles, started to ride that horse. And she says this horse has opened up so many doors for her in the rodeo world, and couldn't be more thankful to have her, Randy, and everyone else involved. So great story. There's always that story behind the chute, Sam. There's always something that keys us in.
Well, and that's why we do this. That a story like that is, the man lost his wife, and now he gets to go and watch this horse perform. Still a little bit of part of what he's lost.
Yeah.
Alive and doing well.
Absolutely. No, well said.
And another one in the average to watch out for is Wendy Chestnut. Her horse is so solid. So solid. They don't make mistakes. They will be in there somewhere.
Okay. Wendy Chestnut. Okay, I'll remember that. Number 8 coming in. Vermont Cowgirl. You've seen her run then a bunch coming out of Indiana.
Coming out of Vermont?
Vermont. I'm sorry. I was one row off there, wasn't I? Yeah. Pulteney, Vermont.
Yeah. She came to all our rodeos all the time. And that horse just handles any setup and any ground. I've seen it run on great ground and seen it run on not good ground.
Okay.
And that horse just handles it. And they have a connection.
Okay.
A connection.
Okay, excellent. And I'll see what I can find out, some stories here about horses and that sort of thing. Maybe we can get a little more description on the horse that Wendy rides. Shifting to the team roping, let's go to the heading side first. We've got in the lead Heath King, and he is partnering up. So he comes in number 1 with $40,000 in earnings, and he's paired up with the great healer Stephen Britnell. I believe they call him Booger Britnell. He comes in number 1 on the healing side. So lots of money here on the line for these guys. Heath King and Stephen Britnell's in first place in the standings. The next header that we're going to look at is going to be Braxton Culpepper. He is sitting second in the standings with about $28,000. He is your reigning world champion, 2022, and he's partnered up with Brad Culpepper. And I know you know a lot about Brad Culpepper and Stephen Britnell. And so Braxton and Brad, right? Father-son?
Father-son combination. Braxton, I don't really know him. I know Brad a little bit. An amazing, solid healer. He used to ride a little paint horse with like a souped-up pony, and really talented on the heeling side. Been to almost any finals you could ever imagine, the NFR many times. But Braxton, the story on him, when I lived in Georgia, and they're from Georgia, they weren't living too far away from me. I never went to their place. They told me to come down and rope with them, but I wasn't good enough to ride their horses, so I didn't go. Right. I didn't want to be embarrassed. But Braxton, he roping, he won a truck before he was old enough to drive.
Really?
Okay. The story I've heard about him. And
okay.
Just when you're around the Culpeppers, it's all business. They take care of it, and you're going to have to watch out for them for the average.
Okay.
They'll either be in there real good or mess up real bad, because they will not afraid to take a chance, run at the barrier, throw a long way. Multi-talented ropers. Okay.
So we're going to be watching this as we go through. And Jake Wells is number 3 in the headers race. He's teamed up with Briar Hamilton, number 5 in the healer race. Did I say heading? I said this wrong. Let me start again. Jake Wells is 3rd in the heading points race, and he's teamed up with the healer Briar Hamilton, who comes in number 5 in that standings. And then Sergio Jr. Formazin, he comes out of New Haven, Indiana, 30-year-old cowboy. He's going to partner up with Casey Stipes, with Casey Stipes, who comes in number 13. Now, last year, Sam, they ran a 4-2 was the quick time. That was Connor Osborne, Sean Cretter. Can we see one of these teams we talked about run at those great times?
Yeah, I think there will be a lot of 4-second runs, and will there be a sub 4-second? That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough with the barrier they'll have here, but there will be some 4-second runs for sure.
Okay, excellent. And of course, when we talk about Stephen Britnell coming in on the heeling side, he won the World Championship in 2016 and 17. He won the IFR average for IFR 46, and again, he is teamed up with Heath King. So a lot of great cowboys coming in here. Zach Mabry comes in number 2, and he's teamed up with Cody Sanchez, coming in number 10 in the heading race. The number 3 heeler coming in is going to be Shane Edmondson, comes out of Alabama, and he's teamed up with Caston Peavy, who's currently standing number 7 on the heading side. And then, of course, Brad Culpepper out of Poulin, Georgia. You talked about him, paired up with his son. He is the 2022 world champion heeler. So we're going to be watching, as you said, lots of money on the line for these guys. And something to point out, when we talk about team roping, it's $22,000 up for grabs for each of the header and the heeler. So Sam, perfect world, somebody could walk out potentially with, a team could walk out with about $44,000.
Yes, they could. And it'll be interesting to watch. With the team roping, when I look down through there, there's quite a bit of talent. Like Adam Pyers way down at the bottom, but that man can rope as good as anybody. Mm-hmm. So it'll be very interesting to watch.
Mm-hmm. We're going to have a lot of fun. And then in the Cowgirl Breakaway, the last event we're going to be talking about here today, mother-daughter Vanessa and Aurelie Madison. They both come out of Kentucky, and they're going to be doing the breakaway. Pretty good money for these cowgirls coming in here. Kyla Matthews out of Athens, Tennessee. She is your reigning 2022 world champion in the breakaway. She won the average last year. She had a great North Carolina event with the WCRA. She placed 7th there, $3,250. And in second place is Maylee Wade, White, Georgia, comes in about $3,000 behind her. But this cowgirl, Sam, at the North Carolina WCRA event, she came in first. She won almost $26,000 on the weekend.
Wow. Isn't that great to be able to win that money on a weekend?
Absolutely.
At a WCRA event, people.
You bet. Big money. And they're running for big money here. Perfect it out, man. Win it out, $22,000. This is cool. This is really, really cool.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to push them to the next level. Mm-hmm. And I've always said, you're only as good as your competition. When they start pushing each other, look out. Things are going to get fast. You bet. And then in third place is Adelie Carter. She comes out of Oklahoma, comes in with about $19,000, riding Rip, her horse, 6-year-old sorrel, quarter horse gelding. And she won the IFR 51 average. So we've got a stacked deck as we look at this. Vanessa Madison, we talked about, of course, Preston Folks is her father. Vanessa Madison, Crofton, Kentucky, comes in 8th. Her daughter comes in 13th, the other cowgirl from Kentucky. So I love this event. It is so fast. Now, last year we saw 2.2 seconds.
was the top or the fastest time, I should say, last year. But IFR 51, so 3 years ago, there were two cowgirls went 1.9, Sam.
Yes. And you may see that again this year. These girls are so talented. It's like a rookie in there they start at a young age now from the high school rodeos and youth rodeos, and they just come right up through the line, and now they got something to shoot for later on. And the IPRA was the first one to recognize breakaway roping as a sanctioned event, which leader of the pack.
Yep.
And
yep.
It's just a good thing for these girls.
You bet.
Because it wasn't that long ago they never had breakaway roping.
Yep.
And
yep.
now it's just a great thing for them.
And to your point, it's not out of the realm of possibility that a barrel racer like kicking it off the Julies this year, any of those top five, and if they were to pick up a rope, right, and get in that all-around points race, the Cowboys would have to watch out because these cowgirls are coming.
Wouldn't that be interesting to see all that shake out?
It would be. It would be.
It'd be interesting.
But no possibility of it this year. We've got no two-event qualifiers for the Cowgirls. So I think we've covered everything, Sam. Anything stand out for you? I know there's going to be awards for buck and stock of each round, of each go-round. There's going to be livestock awards for the IFR. What's the bucking horse of the year for the IFR, for the event we're going to be attending? And then the most coveted, of course, if you're a rodeo stock contractor, is that bronc of the year. And I believe you've had 8 of those titles in the saddle bronc alone. Any predictions there? What are you thinking? What's your thoughts on livestock of the year this year?
I don't know. I can't say, Doug, because I haven't been around to see what's out there. Mm-hmm. I know the stock is going to be good, and to pick horse of the finals, it'll probably be tough. Bull of the final will be even tougher because there's so many great bulls. But I haven't been around and seen what everybody has.
Okay.
I haven't.
Okay.
I've been kind of since I sold the business, I haven't seen or heard even what's out there.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's part of your charge this weekend, dude. You've got to spot the talent. Okay.
Yeah, it used to be guys that come up to me, look at this horse, and this guy's got and that, and show you video. But those days are in the past.
You bet. You bet. All right. Well, a little bit later today, the draw actually comes out, so we'll know which Cowboys are getting on what broncs, what bulls, that sort of thing, what livestock will be drawn for the timed events. Anything else to talk about, Sam, before we say goodbye? And I got to get my bags packed because I got to head. I got an early flight tomorrow morning.
Well, you get your bags packed. Give me a schedule when you're getting in, and hopefully I can make it to the airport to get you.
Hopefully somebody does. Hopefully I'll be standing out in the cold. I think it's pretty cold down there.
It's supposed to get cold. It's not bad today, but they're saying it's going to get kind of down below zero at night for 2 or 3 nights. So
You bet.
Trying to make me feel at home, and I don't like it.
You don't like it? No. You're supposed to be warmer when we come down here, right?
Yeah, if I want to be cold, I could stay home.
All right. Absolutely. So our plan, Sam, is this is pre-show, of course, for the first round, which is Thursday night at 7:30. We will get together on Friday morning. We'll do a recap of what we saw in that first round, get that out to our listeners. Want to get that up as quickly as we can so they can be caught up. And then we will also talk about the upcoming round, which is Friday night. That'll be round number 2 at 7:30. And we're going to continue that all the way through. So we'll do the final wrap up on Sunday afternoon, which should be about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. The rodeo should be coming to an end. So we're going to get everything wrapped up. And in the meantime, we're going to go to the IPRA Contract Act Showcase. We're going to go to the Old Timers Reunion. There's going to be a lot of stuff. The Buckle Awards every night at 10:30. We got a lot of stuff on our agenda, Sam. So get your nap in today because we're going to need some energy. We got to roll.
Okay. Well, thank you for allowing me to get some sleep. But it will be a busy weekend, but it's going to be a great
It's going
weekend.
to be a great weekend, fun weekend. Looking forward to see all the great folks that are going to be there. So we hope that you enjoyed our conversation about the upcoming IFR. And of course, that opens up on Thursday evening. If you do, please share it with your friends. Let them know we're going to be posting every day. So you better follow us. You better find us. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're on Beyond the Chutes. Search for Beyond the Chutes, I should say, and follow us. I will put this up on our Facebook page. The links will be there. So find that, Beyond the Chutes, our group page. Come follow us so you'll be notified when these things happen. We'd like to say thank you to ParaSight Systems for their support with our podcast, Sam. They help us go down the road, help BTC get on the road again as we head to Guthrie, Oklahoma. And of course, ParaSight System is a push button parasitic diagnostic system for pasture animals, your horses, your cattle, your goats, your sheep, and your chickens. And now a brand new machine for your veterinarian, for your companion animals, for your dogs and your cats. And you can find them at ParasightSystems.com. And remember, we got a coupon. Stop by and see us. I'm gonna have a sheet that'll show you that coupon, BTC023, for 50% off your test kits. Come in. We'll talk Parasite. I've got test kits that I'm going to be taking along to show you what it's all about. And this is Beyond the Chutes with
Sam Swearingen.
Until we talk again on Friday, this is Doug Simcox. Thank you for listening.